Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going behind the scenes with, kind of company you might not expect, Equinix. They're a major player in the digital infrastructure space, kind of a quiet giant, powering a lot of what we do online.
Yeah, they are.
And we're doing a deep dive into their sustainability reports for 2022 and 2023.
Okay.
And trust me on this. This is not just your typical dry corporate report. This is a story about a company actually making a difference.
Yeah, and I think it's especially interesting, because Equinix operates in a sector that's, well, it's known for using a lot of energy. So, their
Yeah.
sustainability efforts, they're not just a nice thing to have, they're really crucial for both their business and, honestly, for the entire planet.
Yeah, for sure. And one number that really jumps out right off the bat, it's their renewable energy coverage, 96%.
Wow.
And get this, they hit that target in both 2022 and 2023.
That's impressive.
6 years in a row now, they've exceeded 90% renewable energy, which is,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing, especially considering how much their energy use has actually grown during that same time. So how did they manage to do it?
Well, it's definitely not by chance, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
One of their key strategies, it seems, is using these things called power purchase agreements, or PPAs for short.
PPAs, okay.
So instead of just, buying existing renewable energy, they're actually signing these long-term agreements to support the development of entirely new renewable energy projects.
So it's more like, it's like they're investing in a greener future, not just checking a box, right?
Sure. Exactly. And we're not talking small amounts here either. Over 3,000 megawatt hours of clean energy just from these PPAs alone. I mean, to give you some perspective on that, that's enough energy to power, let's see, about 600,000 homes in Europe
Wow.
for a whole year.
That's a lot of homes running on clean energy, all thanks to their commitment.
Okay, so PPAs are clearly a big deal for them, but what else are they doing? I'm seeing something here about power usage effectiveness. PUE improving too.
Right, PUE.
What is that exactly?
PUE is basically a way to measure how efficiently a data center uses energy.
Yeah.
And so basically, the lower that PUE score is, the better.
Okay.
And Equinix, they've really been focused on, laser focused on reducing their PUE. And just in 2023, they managed to improve it by more than 8%. So they're squeezing more and more out of every single watt of electricity. I like it. What does that actually translate to, though, in real world terms?
Well, think of it this way. A lower PUE, it means less energy wasted, right? And less energy wasted means lower operating costs for them, and of course, a smaller environmental footprint overall.
Right.
So it's really a win-win situation.
Now, that's what I call efficiency.
Yeah.
But they're doing even more than just that. It looks like they've also made some major cuts to their operational emissions, too. A 24% reduction since 2019.
Wow, that's huge.
That's pretty significant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the really interesting part. They achieved those emission reductions while their overall energy consumption was actually going up. It really highlights, to me at least, their commitment to decoupling business growth from environmental impact. They're really proving that it's possible to expand your business and still tread lightly on the planet.
Yeah, they are. So they're leading the charge on renewables, boosting efficiency like crazy, A&D shrinking their emissions. It's pretty clear they're not messing around. I don't know. What stands out to you, listener, from all of this? All of these environmental wins, I mean.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's not just about the environment for these guys either. Equinix is also, they're really walking the walk when it comes to social impact too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually really impressed by how much emphasis they put on employee-driven initiatives. It seems like they've really ramped up the volunteer hours, donations. They even launched this whole Equinix Foundation in 2022. It seems like they're like all in on this idea of corporate social responsibility.
Yeah, they really are. And I think, that's really reflected in their focus on diversity and inclusion, both within the company itself,
Yeah.
but also in the wider world too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And they're not just, talking about it either. They're actually putting some serious resources behind it. I read that, let me see, yeah, in 2022 alone, employee donations plus what the company matched, it came to over $2 million.
Wow.
What kind of work does the Equinix Foundation actually focus on?
So a big part of their mission is it's all about bridging this digital divide. They support these organizations that promote digital literacy and access for underserved communities. It's really about making sure that everyone has the opportunity to really thrive in this increasingly digital world.
Yeah, that's really important work. I love that. And it looks like they're making some good strides when it comes to diversity within Equinix itself too.
Yeah.
The report mentions something like a 5% increase in what they're calling historically marginalized talent
Yeah.
in the U.S. workforce just in 2022.
Right, and that trend seems to have continued into 2023 as well. They actually saw a 17% jump in their global women employee population last year, and a 14% increase in their Black or African American employee population in the U.S.
Wow, it's really encouraging to see that kind of progress. It really shows that they're serious about creating a more diverse and inclusive workplace.
Yeah, and ultimately that benefits,
Right.
that benefits everyone involved.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, diversity of thought and experience, that always leads to better ideas, better
Totally.
solutions, and just a more, I don't know, a more vibrant company culture overall, right?
Sure, for sure. It
Mhm.
really makes you think, listener, about what companies can achieve when they actually decide to put these values front and center.
Yeah.
It's not just like the right thing to do. It's actually good business too.
Exactly. And speaking of doing the right thing, maybe we should shift gears a bit here and talk about governance for a minute.
Okay.
Because Equinix, they're clearly committed to ethical leadership and strong corporate governance, and it really shows.
You're right. You're right. One thing that really stood out to me was their 100% completion rate for ethics and compliance training
Wow.
across the entire company.
That's impressive.
That's not just checking a box. That really demonstrates a real commitment to ethical conduct
Yeah,
at every single level.
it does. It sends a strong message that, ethical behavior is non-negotiable. And to back that up even further, they're even linking executive compensation to their ESG progress now.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize they were doing that. So their leaders are actually being held accountable for making real progress on these goals. I like that. And it looks like this focus on transparency and accountability, it even extends to their supply chain as well, right? I'm seeing something here about the Carbon Disclosure Project recognizing them for something.
Yes, the CDP, or the Carbon Disclosure Project, if you want to use the whole name. They named Equinix a supplier engagement leader for 3 years running now, that's a pretty significant achievement,
Yeah,
actually.
3 years in a row. They must be doing something right. What does it even mean to be a supplier engagement leader?
So it basically means that they're going above and beyond to promote sustainable practices throughout their entire supply chain. So it's not just them, right? They're working directly with their suppliers to reduce their environmental impact,
Yeah.
to make sure that they're using fair labor practices and just upholding these really high ethical standards overall.
So it's not just about their own house being in order. They're actually pushing for positive change across their entire sphere of influence. I really like that. It's a more holistic approach to sustainability, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's really impressive to see, a company like Equinix really like weave sustainability into, well, really every aspect of their business, right? From their environmental footprint to their social impact and governance. It's not just some side project for these guys. It really seems to be core to how they operate.
Yeah, and I think, that's what makes their story so compelling. They're not
Yeah.
just, setting these ambitious goals, right? They're actually backing it up
Yeah.
with real concrete actions and transparent reporting.
Exactly. And it's definitely a powerful example
Mhm.
for other businesses out there, big or small, really. So I guess as we wrap up our deep dives today, it kind of leaves us with a bit of a thought-provoking question for you, listener. How can you apply these lessons within your own sphere of influence, right? I mean, whether
Yeah.
you're, leading a team, running a business, or even just trying to make more conscious choices in your own life,
Mhm.
there's always something we can learn from companies like Equinix,
Mhm.
companies who are really, walking the walk on sustainability.
Yeah, for sure. It's a journey, but every step we take, towards a more sustainable future, it counts.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks again for joining us for this deep dive into Equinix's sustainability journey. We hope you found it as insightful as we did. And hey, if you're hungry for more details, definitely check out their full sustainability reports. They're packed with even more inspiring stories and data. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and let's all work together to build a brighter future, one deep dive at a time.